Gabe Floten, the head of the Climate Emergency Committee, has just released his report. It reads, "The science is undeniable now. Our planet is headed towards catastrophe. In the coming days and weeks, we expect temperature to exceed livable conditions in most of the planet. The government will be issuing essential personnel tickets to enter one of the underground compounds built to ride out this heat wave. Though we do expect it to
It's run away now. There's no stopping it.
There has to be something that we haven't thought of yet.
Look, this is it. The carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is bouncing back 100% of the sun's radiation. Our temperatures are going to skyrocket in a matter of weeks. Civilization is going to break.
Everyone will die.
It's hard to say. Some small self-sufficient people near the poles may survive and make it through the hottest decades, but most of us won't. We have to launch them now.
There's no point if everyone dies.
If even a few people make it, we'll need to help them reclaim the planet.
But we won't have the time to update his protocols.
He'll just have to figure it out on his own. Initiate launch procedure.
Whoa, I'm awake. I guess, in a matter of speaking. When the eggheads at the Science Institute told me this would feel weird, they weren't lying. My name is Hank, and I think I'm dead. Okay, well, this feels really weird. Where am I? I'm in some sort of cell or closet? What the heck, man? Okay, there's a tree. Oh! Hello? You don't look the same? What the heck is this? Generator? Oxygen collector? I have an oxygen tank on right now. Oh. So, I'm on the moon. Okay. So, I gotta get to work, and one of the things I'm gonna probably need is, well, more trees and more saplings and all that kind of stuff. So I broke the one tree I had, which I believe the leaves are producing the only oxygen I have. So thank goodness I got a couple saplings back, because without those leaves, yeah, I can't breathe. That's not good. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a crafting table and probably get onto charcoal production right away. I need to make sure that my furnace has fuel forever. It seems when they shot me into space, they left me with essentially nothing at all. A oxygen collector and one tree and a water and lava orb. So by using this water and lava orb, I need to be able to make, well, a cobblestone generator to get some sort of building materials. I don't see a bucket laying around, so I really only get one shot at this. I gotta make sure that I do it right. I think this should work to give me basically all the cobblestone that I can mine with my wooden pickaxe. It appears that I got damaged on my flight up here to the moon, so I'm going to need dirt for food. I have the one dirt block that this tree has been growing on, but nothing else. So maybe if I made a crook, I might be able to get lucky and get an apple or two so I can actually eat. Well, unfortunately no apples, but I did get some silkworms, so I made a barrel and I'm starting to put some of the leaves that I'm able to shear into a barrel, and that over time will turn into dirt. So hopefully, once I figure out how to get maybe some, I don't know, seeds or something like that up here, I can actually plant. So I'm going to infect this tree so I can get a whole bunch of string so I can start to sieve. Now that I've made a sieve, I just can use the string to make my first mesh, and then with that, I should be able to actually convert cobblestone into gravel, and once I get flint, I can upgrade my string mesh into flint mesh. That would be great. And yes, just as predicted, I could hammer the cobblestone, turn it into gravel, and then sieve that. And I'm getting back a little bit of flint, not very much, but with each tier that I upgrade the mesh, I get more and more returns. I discovered two things though. One is I can break down my charcoal into tiny charcoal, which allows me to cook up singular items without wasting fuel. The other is cooked apples are a great form of sustenance. And just as game-changing as the cooked apples are, and they are huge, I can now make flint mesh. And that is going to get me, well, more flint, but also actual ores. Oh, man. Now, I'm going to spend a good bit of time making more dirt because I do want to get into farming and all that kind of stuff soon. So I made more barrels, and with the wooden shears I can make, basically I have endless dirt available to me. One minor point of concern here so far is that the oxygen collector is running basically all the time, and it's not able to harvest oxygen when the tree isn't grown, which right now is frequent because I'm cutting it down. So I took some of the leaves that I have and I'm placing them above the oxygen collector, hoping that they will create enough oxygen that I don't have to worry about when I cut down a tree, the oxygen compressor no longer works. Oh, this builder's wand is amazing. I can place on a whole bunch of blocks, hammer them all together, and then get a ton of gravel all through the sieve. Then I made a heavy sieve, and this is another game changer. I can now sieve basically 9 gravel all at the same time. I am starting to drown in ores. It's a really good thing. I need 2 buckets in a bad way. So I'm going to use my lava and I'm going to use my water to make a cobblestone generator, which means no more standing there and picking my cobblestone. That's a great thing. Unfortunately, I made a small mistake here. I should have used the lava to make more lava first. I did not realize that at that time. I was just so happy to have automatic cobblestone, so I put that down, and yeah, I think it's time maybe we go take a look outside. This place is so strange. It's the moon, which means there's no oxygen, but yet there's trees and flowing water and people wandering around out here. And then around the back of the house, there's actually crops. Now, I don't know if these have been maybe bioengineered to withstand the void or something or whatever, but that would have actually really helped out whenever I was starving to death inside, but I didn't know this was out here. Now that I have a lot more iron available to me, I'm actually able to upgrade my mesh. Now, I'm using basically all the iron I have right now to do this, but the rewards are going to be great. I'm going to get way more iron now than I got before. And actually, I'm kind of running out of cobblestone, so I sieved a whole bunch more gravel, I got more iron, and I'm going to upgrade my cobblestone generator because I've been hammering it so much into gravel that it's actually not keeping up with my needs. Now, the hammer is good for making more than just gravel out of cobblestone. You can actually mine the gravel and turn that into sand, and then the sand into dust. Dust is great because dust can actually be mined to get redstone and bone meal, which is exactly what I need next. But that's not all dust is good for. By using water, now that I have an infinite water supply, I'm able to drop dust into a stone barrel and get clay back. So with clay and bone meal, I can actually make something very special. So I can make now clay into bricks, and with bricks I can make bonsai pots, and with that I can make a bonsai hopper, and that's going to basically grow a tiny little tree and drop its drops, which means wood, oak for now, and maybe later other variants, and then apples and sticks right into a chest for me, along with saplings. So I am not going to need, I just suffocated a tree. I'm not going to need to actually farm any more trees. This is going to be completely automated. I am so happy about this. Oh, look at these trees grow. This is so fast. You don't get as many returns as a full tree, but like this is going to be automated and just run forever. This is the part that I kind of screwed up. By using my lava to make a cobblestone generator before making more lava, I'm not sure how I can get a heat source because I need that to make this crucible convert cobblestone into lava. Unfortunately, since I have no oxygen, I can't use a torch. It just won't light. I tried a glowstone torch, but yeah, that's not working. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out a heat source, and I'm not really coming up with one. I can't use fire, I don't have lava. I don't know, but honestly, I'm running out of energy here. I'm not really sure what's going on. I think I need to recharge. I went back into my closet, the area that I woke up, and I just need to power down. I'm just so tired. Do I need to sleep? Is this sleep? Computer, is SatNet ready to be launched? Once launched, how long until orbit and connection to the planet's surface can begin? Thank you. Launch all rockets and notify me when they enter position. The days have been interesting living, again, in this android body. Thanks to a terrible disease, when I knew I didn't have much time left, I signed up for this experimental procedure. I've had no contact with the planet below. I don't know what happened to, well, everyone I knew back when I was alive. Hopefully these satellites will give me some answers. When I woke up, I went straight back to work. This glowstone torch isn't going to work, but I think regular glowstone will, albeit very slowly. If I look closely at the cobblestone, it is going down. Now, probably the very first thing I want to do is speed up my production of lava because lava equals power. And to do that, I need steel to make a superheating element. Well, steel is not that hard to make. You use this hammer to make dust from iron and then you combine it and it's not terribly hard. I made a superheating thing and this is going to increase my lava production from 4 times to 40 times. That is massive. I had to sieve a lot more just to get enough iron to make the superheating element, but as a byproduct, I actually got a lot of diamond, and with that diamond, I can make a diamond mesh. That is going to make me getting even more diamonds way faster. With another full stack of compressed gravel through the diamond mesh, I am now able to make this atomic reconstructor. This is absolutely huge. This machine can make a lot of things that otherwise I didn't really have any means to get. However, the atomic reconstructor requires a lot of power, so I need to upgrade my power as fast as I can. One of the machines I need to help make that happen is a pulverizer, which can break down an ingot or a ore chunk into dust, and with that I can combine them and make alloys. Now, the first thing I need to do is make Invar, and to make Invar you use 2 iron dust and 1 nickel dust, which is pretty easy to get thanks to all the sieving I've been doing. However, power is becoming an issue. I've been running on this tiny little survivalist generator which does almost nothing, so I made a second one which does still almost nothing, honestly. But finally, after a ton of crafting, I was able to make 1 magmatic dynamo, and this is absolutely huge. I could even feed it lava just by hand for right now. Right now, I just need some extra power. Oh my goodness, look at the pulverizer. It was barely creeping along before, and now it's actually working quickly. This is good. This is the key to getting even more power and everything else. I know eventually I'm going to have to move things around and actually expand this base just to have enough room to actually function, but for right now, I'm just going to set up my magmatic dynamo right beside my lava production and then just run some small cables around. I made 2 more magmatic dynamos, and yeah, I'm just going to keep them right in the same room, put them right here, and figure out some way to pipe this lava in. I'm not really sure how yet. After thinking it through though, I decided to use extra utilities because I can make different transfer nodes, whether it's liquid or power or items, and then use the same pipes to connect everything together. I think it's a nice, sleek start, and then eventually I'll upgrade to do faster pipes. Yeah, this is not ideal. It's going to take up all my space, but by using these RF transfer nodes, I'm able to just hook up all my machines right here and not have to worry about power for a while. The atomic reconstructor is the main problem here. It consumes just a ton of power, so I need to have a good influx here so I can actually make decent quantities of anything. And yes, the reason why I want all the power is so I can automate my hammer and my sieve, at least for gravel, and then eventually for dust and sand and everything else. But right now, I just want to get automatic ores coming into my system. So an auto sieve, auto hammer, done. Setting up a simple ore production thing, I think that I can just put these right there and maybe just use item transfer nodes. Eventually I'd like to make these flat ones, but I need an anvil and I don't have enough iron to make an anvil. So for right now, I'm just going to wire it sort of clunky and on the sides, but it's at least going to get started. Okay, it's a jumble of wires for sure. It doesn't look good, but you know what? It's working. I can feed the sieve some apples, which actually speeds up, and look, I'm getting ore pieces. That's amazing. Even though I now have that automated, I want a lot more iron right now, so I'm going to go ahead and make another mesh. I had to use my old iron mesh in the auto sieve, so I'm going to make another one so I can manually sieve as well, just to speed up things. If I want to get into more machines though, I need quartz, and the only way I can see to get quartz right away is by atomically reconstructing sand into soul sand. This is a bit of a painful process because my atomic reconstructor can only hold so much energy and it can only do some sand at a time. So I just have to kind of keep hitting it, waiting for it to refill and hitting it again just to even get a small stack. Although while I was doing this, I just felt a wave of exhaustion come over me. I think I need to recharge again. Oh boy. Excellent. Connect from SAT Alpha to the Science Institute in Hilt Brittle. None? I don't understand. That's the main line. Surely, even if a few weeks have gone by, they'd still be monitoring that. Attempt connection to a second periodicity. What? How is that even possible? Prepare a visual probe. We need to see what's going on down there. After a whole lot of converting sand to soul sand, I was able to make a couple compressed soul sand, and I should be able to have enough quartz to actually get started on applied energetics. Honestly though, one of the things I really need to get going is rice, because I need sticky pistons, and to get sticky pistons I need slime, or I can use rice balls, and I think rice might be the answer to actually a lot of my problems. So I'm just going to plant some right here in my little area, hope that it grows in my no oxygen environment, and go from there. And now with a few buckets of water, I can actually make rice balls. Wait, that didn't work. And now that I made rice dough, now I can make rice balls. There we go. Now I can make sticky pistons with that. Getting digital storage is really going to be amazing. Once I can get this started, then everything else is going to be a lot faster if I can just put all my stuff in one inventory and access it quickly. I was able to make a controller and a crafting grid, and now the only thing I'm lacking is storage. Okay, so that's next. I think I referred to this as applied energetics before, but actually it's refined storage, basically the same thing. I need a ton of iron and quartz though to make all this enriched iron, so I gotta double it. I don't have enough to not. And finally, I was able to make a drive. Now I don't have any discs yet, but I'm so close to refined storage going. Oh man. And a few moments later, now we're talking 1 4K disc. I pop this sucker in and I can dump in all of my ores and stuff. 4K is actually quite a bit. I should be good now to craft a lot of stuff, including, well, probably more 4K discs. Now that I have my power situation at least going, I want to stay ahead of the curve, because if I lose power, I will not be able to access my inventory, which really could leave me stuck. So for right now, I want to make some hardened upgrades and upgrade those. That basically doubles my magmatic power output. The next thing I want to get rolling is basically another auto sieve going exactly like the first one. I just want to double the amount of ores that I'm getting now that I have enough power to support that. So it's still all doing gravel. Eventually we will make a room for this stuff, but for right now, I'm happy to have a lot of gravel being sieved basically every second. Believe it or not, my tier 2 cobblestone generator was not actually keeping up, so I need to make a tier 3. Now I have a lot of gold sitting around, and honestly, not a lot of uses for it, so I don't mind spending that, except for that recipe doesn't actually work because tier 3 is diamonds. I have enough, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Now we're talking. This thing is cranking up cobblestone. I shouldn't need to upgrade this ever again. Now that I have automated storage set up, I want to move into a little bit of mechanism, and for that I'm going to need a metallurgic infuser, because that's kind of the machine that makes all the parts you need for, well, other machines. The other thing I need is an actual drill. I'm still using a cobblestone pickaxe. That is rough. So I'm going to make a drill, and then I'll need something to charge it up too. I might be able to use maybe a different mod for that. Maybe actually additions. But iron is such a bottleneck for me right now. I am totally out of iron. Everything costs iron and almost nothing else. So I made another stack of compressed gravel, and I'm just going to sieve it all through my diamond mesh and hopefully have enough iron to get through this little bottleneck that I'm at currently. It's quite a process. And while I'm waiting for all of my pulverized iron dust to smelt, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of interior design where I get rid of a bunch of the crap that I don't need anymore, like these barrels and furnaces. But if I get rid of my furnaces, I'll need the redstone furnace that I just made to automate everything, so I can dump in my chunks and everything will go automatically into my system. And oh, finally, I'm able to make my drill. This cost a bunch of iron blocks to make. That's why I needed all that. And yeah, my power situation, not great. Not great right now. I hopped over to my magmatic dynamos to check out my RF situation, and it's pretty bleak. So I made 3 augments that are going to double the amount of RF each dynamo makes, which is great. It's going to cost more lava, but I have lots of lava. That's not a concern. I think this is going to keep me ahead of the goalpost for now, but the problem is my pipes can only transmit so much. I'm going to need to upgrade my pipes at some point, but for right now, at least I have a functional drill. I can live with that. Now, one of the next things I'm going to really need is a mob farm, because ender pearls, bone meal, yeah, those are things that I'm going to need in pretty high quantities. So, yeah, to get that, that's going to be a little bit more complicated. By sieving a lot of dirt, I was able to get some ancient spores, and with those ancient spores, I was able to make a bucket of witch water. That witch water can turn a regular skeleton into a wither skeleton, which could get me cursed earth. This stuff is really complicated to get. I didn't want to make a dark room. I want to just go find a skeleton and dump it on him. But yeah, it's really easy for me to fall in that too, and that would be really problematic. I was able to scoop up my witch water and run in here, and unfortunately no drop of evil, but it does kill them. I did not know that witch water killed mobs, but it does. So with that working, maybe I could actually automate this. After hunting mobs for a little while, though, I really began to run out of energy, and I need to shut down for a little bit. Excellent news. Show me. This isn't helpful at all. Send the probe to the nearest city. What? I don't understand. Where's the city? Can you scan for any sign of civilization? Computer, how long would it take for a fully modern city to have decayed to this level? Access your library files and approximate. I did quite a bit of building, and the sun is going down. That means all of the mobs are coming out to play. I have more building I need to do, or else I'm going to be trapped in my little house here yet, because nothing is lit up or closed in. But I'm out of storage. I have all this dirt and wood and lunar dust and everything that I gathered, but I have to dump that somewhere. I really need to hurry here. I can't stop thinking about it's been 500,000 years since I left the planet. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I suppose I'll just keep following my protocols, make a lunar base, and wait for someone to contact me. Would anyone even remember I was here? 500,000 years is just an immense amount of time. I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's now definitely nighttime. There are mobs everywhere outside, so I decided to spend some time digging out a basement so I can run cabling back and forth from the different rooms. I don't plan on having everything in this tiny little starter area that I was in now, so, well, basement seems like a lot safer than running out there with all of the various scary, horrible monsters. I need speed upgrades, and the only way to get those is with sugar, and the only way to get that is with sugarcane, which does not grow fast at all. I made a mob farm because I really need a skeleton, and I need to convert that skeleton into a wither skeleton. Unfortunately, though, nothing's spawning in this little room, and even if they do, they're probably not going to walk into my mob grinder. I made a watering can because I am so frustrated with how long everything is taking to grow, and yeah, I don't really know how to do it here. I gotta fill it with water somehow, but I don't know. I'm basically out of bone meal is the problem, so using this watering can after I figure out how to fill it up, this should speed up the process just a little bit. I actually really need both rice for rice balls and also sugar for sugar cane. I have two different projects going at the same time, and I need these freaking living things to grow. Finally, after really an incredible amount of time, I got some rice balls and was able to make vector plates. Now, what these vector plates do is they push mobs and everything, items and stuff, right to where you want them to. So if anything spawns in that room, it should get killed by the vector plate. Oh, look at that Enderman. I'm gonna do it. I need the Ender Pearl really bad, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna look at him, and I'm gonna try to kill him. Oh my goodness, I am so scared right now. my goodness, did you see the Enderman breaking the blocks? He was breaking blocks to get to me. I thought I had it all figured out, but no, I didn't. Anyway, I used that pearl to make a vacuum layer, which I actually pick up all the items so they don't despawn. The next thing I gotta build is an igneous extruder because I need diorite. And yeah, you can make diorite with quartz, but quartz is pretty hard to get. With an igneous extruder, I can make diorite for only the cost of some water and 1 bucket of lava. That's not bad, and with that, I can get actual lead, which is what I really need. I have exactly 1 ender pearl, and I really don't want to mess with trying to get more, so I gotta make sure I use it wisely, and I'm going to break it and shatter it into shards so that I can make a mining upgrade or world interaction upgrade, so I can actually pull water from a infinite source into pipes. But to do that, I had to make this machine called a resonator and then use my hand pump to actually create GP. Eventually, I'll get my grid power sort of automated, but for right now, at least I can do this sort of just by hand. And with that world interaction upgrade, I can put that right over an infinite water source and it will pump water right into my igneous extruder, which will give me diorite, and that's exactly what I want. Once I get it configured right, it will, at least. I thought I had this figured out, and I thought I didn't need lava piped in, but maybe it does. So I piped in some lava, and that does seem to have it working now, so now I'm actually making diorite. The way I worked out my mob farm is I have basically a little bit of witch water, and those vector plates are pushing mobs into it, so skeletons that spawn naturally are going to hit the witch water and turn into wither skeletons. It's working, I just haven't gotten a drop of evil yet. Now that I have diorite being automatically sieved for lead, I need to get sand so I can get tin. Yeah, so that's going to mean another cobblestone generator, another hammer, and a sieve. I made a mistake. I accidentally converted all of my diorite into paved diorite, so I had to make this factorizer just to split it back into regular diorite again. Next, I need to get this lead production automated because I'm getting a whole bunch of diorite and I've just been manually doing it, but I'm kind of over that. I need that to flow in directly too. Yeah, okay, I need more space. I'm running out of space. Having more ender pearls would be huge, so I checked the vacuum later and I got it. I got a drop of evil just sitting there waiting for me to get it. Oh, yes, my mob farm is going to explode in a good way. I have to redo my mob farm, so I'm raising the roof by 1 so Enderman will spawn because I do need pearls, putting down all dirt so I can make it into cursed earth, and I'm ready to use my drop of evil. This is going to be amazing. I'm a little nervous about once I put this cursed earth down, things spawn instantly, so I need to get this vector plate down and seal it up. The only problem is, I left a torch in there. Stuff doesn't spawn with a torch in, so unfortunately, I gotta break this torch and get the heck out of here. I made a whole bunch of storage crates and everything should be flowing into them because I'm gonna be drowning in mob drops. Everything is looking up in a really good way. But after working so much on automation and everything else, I am exhausted. I think it's time for me to power down again. I've been in deactivation mode in this android body for 500,000 years. That's impossible to even think of. Everyone I've ever known has been dead for 500,000 years, and as far as my probe can tell, the only humans left are living in these small villages spread across the planet. What woke me up then? Whoa, I never even considered that. Computer, what was the protocol that activated me? A signal? Why didn't you tell me that? Okay, computer, where did the signal originate? Wait, that's not from the planet. That's an incoming frequency from outside our solar system. I think I'm onto something that's going to revolutionize my time here. It's power cells. These power cells work together with one overall amount of RF and they share it amongst themselves, even if they're not connected. Wireless power. By funneling all of my magmatic dynamos into one of these, then anywhere I put the second one will actually just automatically get the same amount of power, and they're batteries, so it will store power too. So if I have a power outage, I'll have some time to actually fix it. I made 2 more superheating elements, 2 more crucibles, 2 more hoppers, 2 more cobblestone generators, so I'm gonna have basically 3 of each, so nothing will rely upon anything else. I should never run out of power or cobblestone or lava with this. I'm going to wire this up in a better way soon, but for right now, I want to make sure it works, and I think it does. Everything here seems to be powered up just through this one little energy cell. It's officially day 51 here on the moon, and I think that I'm onto something that's going to be really positive going forward. By making my power tower modular, I can actually just rinse and repeat as many times as I need for unlimited power forever. And now with my wireless power, I'm able to reorganize my main crafting room, which is going to be absolutely amazing. Put down the energy cell first, and now with access to lead, I can make lead flux ducts and connect all the machines that I ever want right underneath using my basement. This is absolutely amazing. I am so happy with my progress now. And now with my wireless power, I'm able to make another one, connect it all back to the first one, and make an automated sieving room. So I can get those sieves out of my main room and import everything into my digital storage system. Using flattened transfer nodes, I can actually put these machines basically right on top of each other with a little skinny flattened transfer node in between them that moves the items down. It's a clean look and everything should be good automatically now. I have enough iron that I don't mind spending the invo on it. Now, automating everything may not be as easy as it seems at first because I'm not getting anything I can smelt from all this sieving. I'm getting pieces, and the pieces have to be crafted into chunks. Then the chunks can go into the pulverizer and then into the redstone furnace to smelt into ingots. So yeah, there's more automation coming, but for right now, I can manually do it. I feel like I'm playing dominoes. I want to get one little augment, but to get that, I have to get this special kind of cryothium dust, and to get that, I have to have snowballs, and to get that, I have to make a special machine that can make snowballs called like a glacial precipitator or something like that, and then I have to inject it by using liquid EXP. Yeah, there's all these machines that all have to work together just to make this one thing that I need for an upgrade, for an augment. So, yeah. Okay, the dominoes continue to fall. The first machine I want to start making is a magma crucible, and to get that, I need to actually make netherrack, and to get that, I put lava in the stone barrel and then drop redstone dust, and that will make netherrack. I have to do it 8 times. I'm also going to need pulverized obsidian, and that's kind of a pain, actually. So I can make it here with the igneous extruder, or I could do it manually. Eventually, I'll automate this, but for right now, I guess I'll just sort of dump buckets of lava in the igneous extruder and go from there. I'll admit I was mentally braced for my pulverizer not working on obsidian, but it actually does. I could just see maybe, oh, it's too hard, or you need an upgrade. No, luckily it does. So I can make just the obsidian in this thing, take it down, put it in the pulverizer, and go about my day. I'm actually going to need a lot of crushed obsidian or pulverized obsidian, so I'm replicating my whole power situation just to get lava and water into an igneous extruder, and with that, I should be able to just automate just a whole ton of obsidian, so it's just sitting around so I can pulverize it down whenever I need to. I can maybe do it on command later, but for right now, at least just have access to it, that would be a big win. I think I got everything set up, and this should just run forever. I mean, it's not going to be super fast, and that's okay. It's just going to be running in the background, and whenever I need a stack of obsidian, I can just walk over here and grab it. And yeah, I mean, that's it. Super easy. I want to double check my sieving room, make sure that I have everything I need to have my bases covered. I have sand for tin, I have diorite for lead, and I have cobblestone going into gravel for just basically everything else. I think I should be good for the foreseeable future. I just need to keep it rolling for now. Okay, well, I just had a close call with zombies. I walked around the corner and there were 3 zombies just standing there. How? I have no idea. Everything's lit up really well. I have no idea how they came in. I double checked everything. I checked my mob farm. They were just there. So it scared me enough. I escaped, but yeah, I was pretty scared. So I put in doors. Now I have doors between each room in my base. Now, with all the sieving and all the machines that are running basically just all the time, I'm getting a little bit nervous about my power. I'm not losing power yet, but at any point that could happen. So I made 3 more magmatic dynamos, 3 more upgrades, and 3 more augments, and I should be good. All these are going to do is just be attached the exact same way as the ones on the bottom, and I figure I'm going to double my power really quickly, and this should keep me for a good long while. So now going from 3 magmatic dynamos, which are doing 120 RF per tick each, to now 6, I'm getting very close to maxing out my leadstone flux ducts. So I'm going to need to upgrade those at some point too, just to keep the power going in. But for now, I'm happy. They're getting tons of lava. That's not an issue. Thanks to having enough power, I can now actually expand my machines in my main crafting room, so I knocked out a wall and brought in more leadstone flux ducts to add in all the different machines I want. I added a sawmill and a few other things, an induction smelter, some other stuff that I'm going to need to make more complicated stuff as we go. I had an idea. I'm getting these canisters from mobs sometimes, and they're actually made out of tin, so I wondered if I could smelt them and get more tin, but in the meantime, I noticed that my system was not keeping up. But before I can get any further, I really need more storage, which means I really need more rice. Luckily, bone meal is not an issue anymore. Oh my goodness, I did so much crafting. I now have 8 4K discs. That is a lot of storage. It's going to take me a while to fill that up. Making blends like this is really, really painful, so I have to basically do it all by hand. I'm really looking forward to auto crafting, but for right now, it's okay. I can actually get the things I need with either copper, bronze, or invar, or whatever, but yeah, this sucks. I had an idea though. I'm getting blaze powder from sieving dust, and I think I can compact that into blaze rods, and if I can, then I can use those blaze rods to actually make ender chests that should make moving items around from all over the place very easy. Oh boy, a wave of exhaustion just hit me, and yeah, it's that time again. It's time to recharge. Computer, did you respond to the original signal? Well, that must be where everyone went. Send a laser relay communication to those coordinates, and hopefully I'll have someone to actually talk to. I can't imagine how far people have gone in 500,000 years. They may have visited other stars, hell, maybe other galaxies. I can't wait to find out what happened to the planet and why they left some descendants down there. I am going to have so many questions. By utilizing these ender chests, I think I can move all the items I get from all over my base or all over this moon right into my digital storage system, which will be absolutely amazing. I just have to make sure that the color codes are right and that my speed upgrades are fast enough to keep up with all the stuff that I'm putting in. I decided to use item ducts instead of item transport nodes because these servos are upgradable, and if they're not keeping up, I can just upgrade to the next one, especially as I get Alloy's situation under control. Now we're talking. All the pieces I'm getting from sieving are going straight into my system. This is going to help start the process of crafting them into chunks and then smelting them. Yeah, one of the many reasons why I need that sugar is because this thing is not fast enough. I'm going to need speed upgrades here to get this stuff out of the vacuumator over at my mob farm and into these storage drawers. Speed upgrades, though, do require GP, and so I made some water mills, and they are not set up in an ideal way, but for right now, I'm getting enough GP to power my extra utilities speed upgrades that should actually be enough for now. My copper situation is actually really bad, probably because I'm using a diamond mesh on the other gravel, so I made 2 iron meshes, and I'll be using those for 2 more gravel situations here that I think are going to get me a lot more copper and hopefully jumpstart that production. Now, I made this lens for the atomic reconstructor, and by hitting it with the beam, I can actually make a lens of color because I have no access to basically any dyes. But by using that and a little bit of bone meal, I can turn that bone meal into all 16 dyes. I don't know if there's a set order, if it's random, but whatever. I now have access to basically any colors I want. Right now, I just want black so I can make some gray dyes so I can have another set of ender chests here, which are going to help me move stuff around. And then similar to the chunk importer, now I'm going to have a chunk exporter where all of the chunks I have can actually go automatically into one of the gray ender chests, and then I can have another gray ender chest somewhere else and actually get into processing. I made this amazing elevator block, and it's just so cool. It's such a cool way to get down the basement because that's where I'm going to put all of the auto crafting stuff. Auto crafting, you always have cables and wires. There's not a lot of great ways to make it look nice, so I think I'll just hide it in the basement for now. I'm getting so many pieces and then chunks that these things are not keeping up. Eventually I want to have more than just one, but for right now at least I can upgrade them and try to kind of keep up at least, sorta. After watching it for a second, I realized that the hardened upgrades are not going to be enough, so I actually went ahead and made the tier 2 upgrades, and hopefully that will be enough. But I'm out of power. Yet again, I'm out of power. I built another room for more water mills because I do want to use a lot more speed upgrades, and that does require a lot more GP, so yeah, I gotta make a bunch of burnt stone for now. After a little bit of crafting, I think that I am in probably a good place. Dump this water right in the middle, and all of them are functioning at a full 16 GP each. That's 106 total, minus a little bit of loss. Yeah, I can live with that. That's quite a bit. The next thing I want to work on is food, and that's kind of weird because I could live on apples. I'm good on apples forever thanks to my bonsai hoppers, but I want to branch out because I want access to dirt. And I think the fastest way to dirt would be basically organic food, like set up maybe some potato farms or rice farms or whatever and just compost everything and turn it into dirt. As a side note, I was down in the basement of a moon, like a little moon cave here, and I found ores. I had no idea there were ores on the moon. I mean, this blindsided me completely. Maybe I could actually get some stuff that I need that way. I figured out how to craft something called a magnum torch, and this torch is amazing. It will stop all mob spawns except for on cursed earth for a very large radius. So I made 4 of them, even though they're pretty expensive, and just put them on all 4 sort of corners of my base. This should keep me safe from those zombies that just appeared one day. Believe it or not though, I'm running out of power yet again. I added 3 more magmatic dynamos that are upgraded and augmented, and hopefully this will keep me for a while. I know I feel like I say that every time I add more power, but this time for real, I think we're probably good. Now, I need to set up my automatic ore processing completely hands-free because it's turning into a full-time job of just getting all the pieces, making the chunks, putting the chunks in the chest, and all that kind of stuff. I need to make another room, but I don't have a lot of room over here, so unfortunately this house, it's gotta go. I'll be honest, I feel kind of bad. These villagers have been living up here on the moon for who knows how long, and I'm just destroying their house, but they're gonna be better off because I'm gonna be able to build them a room within my giant moon base, I think. I mean, look, I don't know. There's only a few villagers up here. I got to think of the greater good, and the greater good is us all living together and flourishing, right? Right? And with that, I was able to lay out my processing room. So this room's going to have a twofold purpose. First, it's going to have to craft pieces into chunks, and then secondly, have enough processors to pulverize the chunks and then smelt them up into ingots. I think I can do it. But just building what I want to do in this room, yeah, it's going to take a lot of stuff, and I'm starting to feel that feeling again. I'm starting to get tired. I headed back into my, well, closet, and time to recharge. Computer, any messages yet from our returning people? Can you set up a scanning scope to search the sky for any inbound ship? Perfect. Do it. I am so excited to finally talk to people again. I mean, no offense, computer. I made a crafter, actual auto crafter, and I put it down in my basement, and now hopefully I have enough spots to auto craft an auto crafter. Yeah, I think I can do it. But before I get into more sort of auto crafting, I need to make something called a pattern grid, and this is where you teach the system patterns where it will then know how to craft sort of A, B, C, D in order to get your end result of E. You know what I mean? I filled up 1. I think I have like 9 spots. I filled them all up, but there's a couple things I still have to do manually because I don't have a furnace yet. So I have to cook the thing sort of on my own, but it's getting closer. And this is what I need to actually craft a crafter. And I, again, made a couple of things on my own, but yeah, I actually did it. It will actually craft a crafter as long as I have those 2 things. So now that I have a second crafter, now I can learn more recipes, or I could actually hook it up to a furnace if that's the route I want to go. By hooking up a third crafter to the furnace, basically it will input the things I want to smelt. I just have to figure out how to get them out of the furnace. It doesn't work that intuitively. I actually need another energy cell, so I made another one, and I'm going to put that down in the basement because I need to power all these machines I'm putting for auto crafting, like an induction furnace and a redstone furnace and all that kind of stuff. I taught my auto crafting a pulverizer and redstone furnace, and I should be able to actually just hook these up. Now, I don't know how many of these I'm going to need to stay above my production of chunks. I'll know that more once I actually set up my auto crafting of chunks, too. 1 certainly didn't do it, even though it was upgraded to a tier 2. So I made another one, and yeah, that's not keeping up either. Maybe once I upgrade them to a tier 2 here, maybe then they'll keep up. But believe it or not, and this is actually hard for me to believe, I'm out of power again. I decided that this recurring theme needs to change, so I went through and I taught my auto-crafting all the recipes that I need to make augments, upgrades, pipes, tubes, everything. I will never have to craft these manually again. But yeah, my pulverizer and redstone, they were not keeping up, so I actually added another pulverizer and redstone furnace. I do believe that this is all I'm going to need. And now that they're keeping up, I think I want to make a bunch of diamond hammers and put them into my hammering. If you add diamond hammers to these auto hammers, it increases the speed dramatically. So I made a whole bunch since now I'm just producing diamonds like crazy. Yeah, I made a lot, and that's going to hopefully speed up my entire process here. Next, I made 3 farmer blocks, actually addition style, and I think this should operate fine. The one thing that I'm going to need to do is figure out if I want to hydrate the land or if I want to get worms. After spending some time and thinking it through, I decided that worms are the way to go. So I upgraded my watering can. I'm going to take that watering can and I'm going to use it to actually spread grass. What? Because the thing is, I don't have very many grass seeds and I don't want to sieve all my dirt. It's kind of hard to come by. So by just putting one grass seed down, I can actually water it and get it spread pretty quickly. Then once I hoe grass, I should hopefully get worms. I was a little skeptical that this is going to work. Honestly, I wasn't sure if this would work on the moon or not, but yeah, it didn't take long. I saw a worm just float away. That's exactly what I want to do. Worms are super cool. What they do is they automatically hydrate and make land into farmland, so you don't do anything, and then your farmer can plant right over top of them, and they give like a bone meal effect. So they are awesome to have. I'd much rather that than have to have water in the middle or something like that. A good bit of grass hoeing later, and I finally have worms in all my fields. That's right, 27 worms going to work, doing their thing, bone milling all of my crops. I should be rolling in as much organic material as I could ever want. But thinking about my power situation and how I keep running sort of low on power, I decided to go ahead and take my dynamo stack and just replicate it again. So I made 3 of everything, and we're just going to make a whole another dynamo stack. It feels good to have preemptively added in power, so now I'm not going to run out when I add these machines. These machines are pretty power hungry. They take quite a bit. So now I am adding 2 more machines, one for sand and one for diorite, and hopefully I'll get out of the, well, bit of a crunch that I'm in right now. I am going to want to move more stuff around, so I'm going to need a couple more ender chests. Blaze rods have actually become a bit of an issue, so I guess I'm going to have to sieve more dust to get more blaze rods. Next, it's time to solve the problem of my pieces not becoming chunks on their own. I made these auto crafters. I made 1 for each chunk that I want, which are, I think, 9. So hopefully these work. I'm not 100% sure how they work, but I think I can probably figure it out. After a little bit of configuring and plenty of work trying to get these servers to work right, I think I have everything automatically going out of this ender chest and flowing where it needs to go. Hopefully I won't touch this again. It has been quite a long shift here. I think it's time for me to go back and recharge. What? Finally! Show on screen!
I am coming.
Hi, my name is Hank. I'm... well, it's hard to say what I
am coming.
Yes, I heard that. Can you hear me?
What is the population of your planet?
I'm actually not sure. See, I've been asleep a very long time. Don't you mean our planet? You're from here, right?
I am from the beginning. I bring the end.
Bring the end of what? That seems a little dramatic, don't you think?
The end of life.
The end of life? Who is this and what's he talking about? I need some time to really think, so I just went outside and started building. I want a room to maybe house my soul sand production, but yeah, that's very creepy. Now that I am able to make some mycelium from sieving a bunch of dirt, I put barrels in. I don't need a lot because this is going to run basically all the time. I'm going to automate this whole situation. For some reason though, this is not turning into witch water. I thought it would if it was just sitting on mycelium, but yeah, no luck. Then it occurred to me, oh, maybe I'm supposed to use the stone barrels, but yeah, that's also not working, so I don't really know what I'm doing wrong here. I went away to do something else and I came back and it worked, so I don't know. I added some extra mycelium and mushroom screw. I don't know. I want to finish off my power production here. I now have the ability to automate all of this, so I'm just going to go ahead and add in 12 more magmatic dynamos. That's going to be enough forever. I know I've said this like every time, but for real, this time I actually mean it. They're fully upgraded magmatic dynamos, 12 of them. Yeah, we are going to be good. Now that I have Witchwater set up, I just had to do yet another cobblestone generator to 2 hammers to get sand, and that's going to automatically filter the sand in, and that sand will be turned into soul sand, which I think this is going to work great. Now, I could have set up like a sieve for where the soul sand's coming up, but honestly, for right now, I think this is okay. I can just wait until a few stacks of this collects and just run it through manually. Now, one of the other machines that I'm going to need here is I'm going to need a water tank so that I can actually import water into my system, and it's a little confusing. So I hooked up water to the fluid transposer. I'm going to see if I can figure it out, but yeah, I don't really know how to go about that. I think I can put an empty bucket in a fluid transposer that has water, and it will give me a water bucket, I think. And yeah, it actually turns out that that does work. So I made another drive, and now I'm going to load up for another probably 8 4K discs and just fill up my storage. In just the time it took me to make that stuff, I thought, okay, surely I have a bunch of soul sand. Yeah, I didn't. I had like 12. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to make another stack of soul sand this way just to get enough quartz to continue making these drives. I have to say, it is an unbelievably fulfilling feeling to click this button and auto-generate and auto-craft 8 4K drives. Everything is automated now. This is amazing. However, there's still one glitch that is not really working right, and that is sort of the auto-crafting of chunks for ores. I don't know. I thought for sure that this was going to work, but it's not actually getting anything, so my ender chest is just filling up. So, yeah, I'm going to redo this. I'm going to try to use mechanism pipes and see if maybe that'll work. After a lot of trial and error with mechanism pipes, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I looked around and tried to figure out a whole bunch of things that possibly are going wrong. And actually what's wrong is the servos are wrong. It was working. It was just very, very, very slow. So I made some stronger servos, some of the tier 2 servos, and that should move things out so quickly that I think the item ducts are going to get everything where they need to go in a fast way. Speaking of speed, though, I was getting annoyed at how slow my sugarcane has been growing, and I thought, oh, I wonder if it would go in a bonsai hopper thing. And yeah, it does. It definitely does. I should have done this a long time ago. This is really a great sugarcane farming technique. I am going to want to start building soon, and to do that, I'm going to need a lot of gravel and sand, and so I set up a couple auto hammers and cobblestone generators to make that happen. Then I made 2 storage buses, and that's going to get wired right into my digital storage, and I think that over time, I should be able to collect more sand and more gravel than I should ever need. With a little bit of time, I came back and checked, and yeah, it's working. So I'm getting automatically gravel, automatic sand, and those will just be able to be used in my digital storage and nothing else. I'm going to want a lot of concrete, so using my fluid transposer and the crafter behind it, I can set up a recipe for turning concrete powder into concrete. Sweet. I am noticing there's a little bit of a glitch, though, in trying to get enough water. Like, my system isn't saying that I have water, even though I have access to it. So I tried hooking up a tank, and yeah, that didn't work. I'm not really sure how to do that. I think this will work, though. Using my grid power, I made a bunch of more of this burnt stone, and I should be good to make some more upgrades. I'm going to need plenty of speed upgrades to make this happen. Now, the problem I'm realizing is the fluid transposer will only make 1 concrete at a time, and I want this to be running all the time, so I'm doing a different technique. My goal is to have this automated and have nothing to do with my refined storage system after thinking about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an ender chest to move my bones from here over to the other place where I'll pulverize them into bone meal. After I pulverize that, I can use a transfer node to put in up to 1 full stack of bone meal, 1 full stack of sand, 1 full stack of gravel, and that will autocraft into white concrete powder all the time. That will eject that into a different place. Come up with a very small hiccup, though. It doesn't seem like my filter is stopping limitless bone meal from getting in, so I found these like little extra utilities filters that I've never really seen before, and I'm going to try to put those in and see if that will actually limit to only 1 stack total, because any more than that, it'll just wait until there's room to put it in. My main concern here is that if I didn't have a filter, my entire input inventory could fill up with bone meal, thus not allowing any sand or gravel to get in, for example, and that wouldn't then be able to craft. But now I have that since fixed. The filter will only allow 64 of each in. The next thing I have to do is I have to just hook up the output transfer nodes from these barrels that will only accept concrete, not concrete powder, and put that into an all-white ender chest, and that will import automatically straight into my system. I am super, super happy with this build. completely automated and doesn't need anything to do with my refined storage system. Awesome. All that being said, though, yeah, I'm basically out of power again. It's time to recharge. What the hell? This guy flies into my solar system and just drops that he is the end of life? Computer, establish a communication laser again with that ship.
I am coming.
Yes, you've mentioned that. Why are you ending life? What's your deal?
I am the end.
Inspiring conversation. Look, I don't know who or what you are, but I didn't live for 500,000 years just to talk to a robocall.
Processing. 500,000 years is not possible for life.
Well, I'm not exactly alive.
Explain.
Well, I'm an android, I guess.
Artificial intelligence.
I guess. I mean, what are you?
I am sent to destroy life I detect on this planet. I have no code pertaining to artificial intelligence. You may continue to exist.
The people down there, they aren't technological at all. You can't murder them.
They sent a signal to space.
That was hundreds of thousands of years ago. Something happened on this planet that wiped out my technological civilization.
Life is life and must be destroyed.
I can't even argue with this guy. I don't even understand what's happening right now, but I hate it. In fact, guy doesn't really seem like a guy. I don't know. I gotta figure out something to do here. I upgraded the servo to pull items out of the vacuumulator a little bit faster, but all I'm thinking about is the people down on the planet. They have no idea what's coming their way. They're simple farmers. They have no technology. They have no defense against this. I might be their only chance. I've been racking my brain, and I may see one possible way out of this. I need to upgrade my power massively, so I made 24 augments to double the power of each of the magmatic dynamos. I need to sieve a lot of gravel in a hurry. Along with the tier 2 upgrade, I actually put in another augment of the same one, so now I'm putting out 240 RF per dynamo, and I have a lot of them. I have 24 dynamos going, all for sieving gravel right now. I almost died. I was so lost in thought about what's going on out in space that I forgot to really watch myself, and a zombie somehow spawned in my base again, and I almost got killed. If I had died, these people on the planet would have no chance. So I made these another zombie. This place is so lit up, and yet they keep spawning. I ran away from this one, and I made these lamps that actually light up the entire area. There should not be a single bit of area in my entire base that's not lit up from now on out. After lighting everything up, I came back to finish my augmenting job. Now, there is absolutely no chance I'm going to run out of power and I can get on to, well, my end game anyway. I'm still trying to figure out how to get my fluid transposer to take liquid EXP and infuse obsidian powder. I think maybe this is actually going to work. It's just so slow. I'm going to need to upgrade these machines as well. Concerningly, though, I started to realize, like, oh, wow, my entire inventory is filling up with rotten flesh and bows and things like that. And what happened was the item duct coming out of the vacuumator was attached to my input ender chest. So, I was overfilled with crap. I finally made it something called a circuit fabricator, so I can actually use silicon and a few other things to make some advanced circuits, which I'm going to need for the next machine. I'm not sure how much time I have left. I'm hurrying right now as quickly as I can, but one of the only things that I don't have another way to make is sulfur. So I'm making end rods and then I'm breaking them up in a pulverizer, losing a little bit of blaze powder, but potentially getting some sulfur. There's a backwards way to make it, but I think it's actually working. And finally, the item that I have been waiting for so long, I made a reinforced exchanger. This block is amazing. It can change out any block with any block that I have in my inventory, so I can finally remodel my base. And now with all the amazing amounts of concrete that I've made, it's time to change out these hideous old blocks for a smooth white concrete look. Oh, I should have done this a long time ago. I cannot believe I waited until the end to do this now, but it looks so cool. It's so sci-fi and futuristic. I just love it. I love it so much. I worked on somewhat of a floor design here just to make sure that you don't get too close to these hot lava crucibles. And yeah, it just looks great. This exchanger is such an amazing thing. I love it. I wanted to make some windows, and these are special windows that actually will seal in air everywhere. So I am changing out all the old regular glass for these very special windows. They look really nice, and they'll keep the vacuum out once I seal the door anyway. That's kind of where I got to whenever, I realized that it's about time. I tried to seal the door, but I couldn't because I don't have access to Desh. Desh is only found on Mars, and I'm out of days. This place looks great. I wish I had more time here, but unfortunately, it's been 100 days since I was activated, and, I have one thing left to do. I don't want to do it, but it needs to be done. I look at this as bonus time. I got to live 500,000 years and see things that no one ever has. I get to live on the moon and create this amazing base out of basically nothing. And maybe, just maybe, I get to save the entire human race. Goodbye. Computer, how long until the ship approaches its closest point to this moon? Open a laser relay.
I am.
Yes, I'm aware. I can't let you destroy those people down there.
You can't stop me.
I've gotten a closer look at your ship, and I can't imagine how such a tiny ship could destroy an entire planet, but my computer tells me your power level is off the charts. Very well. Computer, initiate self-destruct, maximum yield.
Destroying your small moon base poses no threat to me.
No, I don't suppose it would, but the thing is, I've been compiling uranium. A lot of it. Like a mind-numbing amount of it. Well, my little simple projections tell me that it will destroy not only just this moon base, but the entire moon. And I'm pretty sure your little ship won't withstand that.
Destroying me won't change anything. I'm not the Armada. I'm just a probe.
Wait, you're just a...